All right, folks, what you guys been waiting for is here, man. Episode 3, Bag Talk. Myself, Fred Howard, P. Santos. We here, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Bag
What's going
Talk.
on, my brothers?
We here. We apologize for the delay, but you know what I'm saying? Rome wasn't built in a day.
You know
We
that's
had to
right.
regroup a couple things.
Yeah,
Life got in the
man.
way, but
You're
you know,
dealing
we
with
got some
three
content. We
cornhole
got a little
lovers,
content.
but first and foremost, we are three dads.
That is true. That is true.
And
that
hubbies.
and hubbies, and that's the priority of our existence. You know what I mean? But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, we will
Facts.
always meet you at the table to have some bag talk.
Yep. Absolutely. We got a little bit on store for you today. We're going to, not get too crazy, too wild, but we're going to recap a couple of events from the past week, last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then we're gonna break it into a couple controversial topics, and then we're gonna finish it off with some future events that we're all looking forward to. So, without further ado, I know Sneaky Pete, he wanted to talk about Mondays. Let's talk about it, Pete. What you got,
man,
baby?
Monday was tremendous in Fairfield, man. The Sportsplex is jumping, man. If it was up to me, man, that place would last forever, and it would be the cornucopia forever. You know what I mean? But obviously, it's borrowed time. Will's doing the best he can with what he got, but he never, ever, ever disappoints. So that's the beautiful thing about my boy Will Noah, the commish. But
Without a doubt,
shout out to Rooster, Monday MVP, Lambo, and D Polo. But man, what a stack house! As always, like I've played.
Can I just interrupt you for a second? I got to interrupt you for a second just because coming from an organizer standpoint, organizers are always trying to, how do you take that next step? How do you
spice
try
it up,
to,
spice it
yeah,
up.
like how do you try to be unique and creative? And man, the GOAT, we've said it plenty of times. We got to get him on this show to talk about
Always
it.
comes
Get in
out
the
with
mind of
something.
this man. But
Word.
the GOAT, Will Noah, man, he comes up with some wild things and it just keeps everything so fresh. And I'm envious of it to a certain extent, but I also, being a purist of love for the sport of cornhole, I love everything he does. Every
Absolutely.
little thing he does,
He's the
so
commish,
what Pete's
bro.
going to get into in a second is, for some people who don't know about Will and the league, Connecticut Cornhole OG, it's on season 32, 33, could be 43. I don't know. He's got a lot of seasons in this BYOP league.
He definitely does.
It is the most competitive BYOP league. It's got 40 plus teams in, I think 44 teams right now. Everybody plays each other one time. And then it's got tiered brackets, double elimination. But what he's doing to make this so incredibly so incredibly interesting, and keep everybody on their toes, is now with the introduction of stats and score magic with Scoreholio, he's introducing this MVP voting, right? So the MVP voting, the MVP he was doing a weekly MVP last season, right? But this year he kicked it up a notch where now he's like, you know what? I think he's going to do it every week. It's only been 1 week, but he's throwing 3 people out, throwing some stats out there, and then letting people vote on Facebook, right?
And
so there's a little tiny bit of content.
He gave Slope the honorable mention, yeah.
Well, it's not even an honorable mention. That wasn't even an honorable mention.
He showed the numbers.
No, time out. What's even better about Will Noah's brain and the way that it works is it's an award. Throwing out of your skull award, which is basically taking somebody who overachieves, not saying Sloat can't throw, right? But Sloat's natural stats as of right now were like a 7 and change PPR, and he threw out of his skull. And he created an award for that. It's
amazing.
It's almost, it's so amazing. A legend.
He's a legend.
So back to the MVP portion of that, there's 3 people who were, vote on these 3 people, like Pete said. It was Rooster, Lambo, Mikey Pipes, as I like to call him, and D Polo, right? And we'll put all the stats up there. Everybody voted, do a little bit of controversy.
I missed it, man.
Back over to Pete, man.
I missed it, man, because I work nights now, so I sleep during the days. I'm catching up. I'm foggy. I'm trying to catch up with the notifications, and obviously, our scene in Connecticut is tremendous. So Monday night, Tuesday night, all these things going on. I go to work one day, come out the next day. I'm trying to catch up. And then we spoke about it a little bit, Fred. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I try to pick up on B's live feed. I watched as many games as I could, and then finally I went to Scoreholio, and I'm just like, at that point, Rooster won. I forgot to cast my vote, and I start browsing through Scoreholio, and I'm like, wow, Rooster, he did Rooster things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's a farm animal for a reason. He shows up and he does exactly what he came there to do. And D Polo being the freshman out of the three, tremendous. He's doing major things in Naugatuck. I've watched his game progress from Candlewood to Naugatuck to him coming to 203 and support and stuff like that. But my boy Lambo, the seasoned vet from CCC, obviously he's a home club mate of Rooster, but I feel like Lambo had the tougher road to
Isn't
maintain
Lambo from
those numbers.
203 originally though? He reps
No,
203, not
CCC.
CCC. Oh,
No, he reps
Lambo's a
203.
CCC guy.
He supports
Yeah,
203 100%.
100%. Yeah.
But he's a CCC veteran.
Mhm.
He's been there since the inception, pretty much. You know what I mean? But his road to his to his completion of his night, because obviously there's no bracket, there's no championship or nothing like that. It's just you playing 6 games, and then that's your night. His 6 games were a lot tougher, in my opinion, than Roosters and D Polos. You know what I mean? So I know what Lambo could do. I've played Lambo 1,000 times. He's beat me. I've beaten him. When he's on, he's as good as anybody in the state of Connecticut. But I feel like he had to do the hard work, whereas Rooster did what Rooster does, but
Mhm.
he wasn't put in any tough positions where he had to earn it.
So little story about this, right? So I'm in a
he
group
got
chat.
a smirk on his face.
Yeah, well, I'm just, because at the end of the day, I did something. I voted, right? I casted my vote. My vote was for Rooster based off of what I saw, right? And I played against Rooster that night. I was one of his opponents, one of his 6 opponents of the night. And I actually played one of my better games against Rooster that night, but he smoked me. He shot like a 9.5. I shot an 8.5 or something. So his DPR was still solid 1 over. So anyway, moral of the story is I casted my vote for Rooster. I'm talking in a chat with Lambo, right? Lambo, Josh, a couple people, and that whole subject came up was about like, the strength of opponents also should matter in this voting, right?
Absolutely.
So Lambo sold me on it, trying to get more votes, right? So I went back and changed my vote to Lambo because I'm like, you got a valid point. I get a DM from Rooster, and he's like, "Yo, you changed your vote." So we start chopping it up, right? So at the end of the day, though, even though I wholeheartedly agree with you, Pete, Rooster did provide me with some number stats. You ready? So if you take all Rooster's opponents, which include me in this, right?
Yeah.
Not egotistical at all. I felt like Rooster had the lesser of the opponents, just meaning, skill wise, not breaking anybody down. Just it's facts. I thought Lambo had those 6 harder opponents in it if you put them all together, right? Rooster sent me this.
Yo, Fred, real quick to
OPPR
cut you
stat.
off, Fred. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm just nosy. Who's in that group chat?
It's a little secret.
That sounds interesting.
The heavy
So
hitters.
So Rooster sent me this stat, and he said, "Listen, I respect that. Like, I respect the fact that, on paper, if you go SPRs and you add them all together and you average them, Lambo probably had the higher skill set of the opponents. But on the night of week 1 in Fairfield, the opponent PPR, right? So it actually has a rating that you could look at it. It's public knowledge. Rooster's opponent PPR for the night was 7.1. Lambo's opponent PPR was 6.88. So technically, Rooster had the harder opponents.
No. That means
they just performed better.
Now here we
His
go.
Opponents
exactly,
performed better that night.
They perform better than they usually do. But however, Lambo's lineup are people.
Tell me his lineup. You know the lineup, Pete? What's the lineups?
I would if I wasn't using my phone right now. I had everything prepped on my phone, so I would be on the laptop.
I'll get you the lineup right now. But time out though, and not to interrupt you, and it's a valid point, right? But when you're talking about the MVP of the night, their opponents played better.
They did.
That night. we're not talking about like overall that night they played better.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, that's a little tough, but
It is. It makes perfect sense because when I looked at it from Scoreholio standpoint on the score magic stats, it's like he's playing people that don't usually they usually play at this level. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna break it down. You ready for it?
Go ahead, please.
All right, Lambo's opponents on the night were the Queen Scenario herself,
solid all the way around.
the Knife, Tommy Mack,
veteran,
Little Ed, whole 9 yards, Tom Fino, Tom Fino, and Sloat the Goat.
Whose opponents was this? Lambo's?
That was Lambo's.
Yeah.
All right. And then Rooster's opponents was yours truly, myself, Art Schaefer, Joe M, Joe Mara, BZBs, didn't even realize he played you either, and Braden.
Yeah, he did play me, matter of fact. He spanked us.
So when you look at all of those, I have to give the edge up to Lambo. However, me and BZBs, yours truly here on this live stream, we could collaborated to play better than those 6, right? So I tell you what, it was a coin flip. You want to heads or tails?
But like for me, it comes down to like now that I hear it that way. Everybody knows, right? Everybody knows it's Lambo's road and it's Rooster's road. There was no pressure on any of you guys because these guys, we know who they are. We know what they do. Just like when I play them. When I play them fearless. Why? This is what they do. I'm either going to hit these shots and win, or I'm going to miss these shots and lose. In which case, I got beat by a guy that's beat me 1,000 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
There's no pressure on the opponent as there is to the guy who has to maintain his status and beat you because this is what he does.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You know what I mean? I feel like that, that factors into it. And with that being said, I don't know who Joe M is. I don't know who the other Joe guy is. Obviously, I've been going for 1.5 years, going on 2 years now. But everybody, that's why I'm saying, that's why I was kind of biased, because I know everybody on Lambo's side of the list. And Viv is solid. Obviously, Sloat is solid. Ed is solid. Zach is solid. Zach obviously took some time off. And sticky boards are Zach's worst enemy. But when I heard that Will glazed those things, a fast board, Zach Grasho is a bad man. Zach Grasho is a bad man on a slick board. Zach Grasho will not miss.
We go to the arena. We go to the arena in Bridgeport right now, and I guarantee you the hockey rink wasn't even as slick as those boards, man.
Everybody's ankles was getting hit with bags.
That's my worst nightmare.
Listen,
bro.
Bees with his 24-foot high throw couldn't leave a blocker if he tried.
Oh my goodness! I throw low and hard, so that's my worst nightmare. If you go to some
of the fees, bro, I was throwing on the slow side.
So he only did it was either 3 or 4 sets that he refurbished,
right?
And he did it because they were notoriously the slowest boards of his of his inventory. These things are now not even anywhere close. It makes all the other boards slow.
And that tells me he probably used the water-based acrylic, because I used to use the water-based acrylic, because after I do 2 coats, I take like a 400 grit and I just give it a light little dusting to give it a little fray, and I go left to right opposed to north to south,
up and
because north and south, that's the way the bags travel. So I create that little mini groove, you know what I mean, and then I wipe them down good. And they usually compensate, but they still play fast.
Yeah.
Water-based always plays a lot faster than oil-based. You know what I mean?
Water-based does? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Water-based plays, because in the sun, polyurethane and the oil-based stuff, they play quick in the sun, whereas the water-based will play the same. You know what I mean? But the water-based instantly plays faster no matter what. Braden, I believe it was Braden I was talking to. He was like, Pete, you could have been in here throwing a 3, bro. They were playing like a 6. I was like,
they were, yeah, 100%.
And I have a low throw. You know what I mean? I have a low. My throw maybe doesn't break 6 feet. You know
Listen,
what I mean?
at this point in juncture, we don't even know if you have a throw anymore. To be honest
He's
with you,
throwing
but
straight
Dude,
bricks.
You know
that's what
Straight
sucks because
bricks.
I'm here on the island, right? Even when I go outside and I play or I set up at the basketball court for maybe like an hour after my workout to just throw some bags, it might be windy. So I'm throwing a 3 slow side, a 4 max on the slow side, and I'm launching it through the wind. So I'm like ripping it. So that first time I came back to visit, and we went to where did we go, Beast? 395. No, we went to the Legion in Mass. And Lady Tornado was there, Bradley,
Oh
Smith,
yeah, you're right.
Montana. We played with a lot of great
Montana.
people there. My boy Adam. We had a great time, but bro, I was throwing
Yeah, we
wizards.
did.
I couldn't keep them on the board to save my life. And the dude's looking at me because they're like skipping off the board into his hand. He's like, and I'm just like, yo, I'm working. So I had to step to all the way back of the board and throw from there, and then I started sinking. Like, because I'm already used to throwing on the beach, throwing in my backyard, or throwing on the basketball courts. And there's always some kind of wind, and if there is no wind, the heat and the humidity slows the boards down. So now you got to throw it hard anyways. So it's like I naturally throw a hard bag.
What you laughing at, bro?
Yo, Fred, you doing Pete comes back, you putting in work? Well, that nigga throwing
Who, Pete?
fives. Fred,
Nah, Pete's probably throwing fives when he comes
that
back.
boy sharper than steel over on the low.
But you know what? It's like riding a bike though. So the next day, bro,
You're gonna spank him
night.
all weekend.
Listen. If the weather's sticky, I'm taking the logo off the boards.
Listen, I'd like to be a fly on the wall of the whole 9 yards group chat with this. He comes back and everybody's spanking him.
Hey, listen. I put some work in. When they came to see me, that's the different element, Fred. And when they came to visit me, they got to throw into the wind. They got to throw in the sun. They got to throw in the humidity. You know what I mean?
I got the footage.
So, you know what I mean? Oh, bring it up, please. Listen.
Oh yeah.
I'll take my wins and my losses as a champion.
My boy Wags just texted me. Shout him out, Wags. What up?
They did great today, y'all. I was watching a lot of their feed. But when I come, you know, I'm going to wait because I got a special video that I'm going to make for a certain someone that I'm going to tighten up when I get there. You know what I mean? But the reality is you're going to be there, Fred. You're going to be my commentator for that game anyways, Fred.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean?
Yo, let's get it.
I've always been.
So anyway, just to recap,
steel sharpens steel. So I gotta come.
Without
I gotta come strong.
But just to finish up on Monday night with Will, Connecticut Cornhole, the OG, continuing to make it interesting, keeping everybody on their toes. The excitement is through the roof. The excitement is through the roof for his league. And I know Will's been struggling a little bit mentally with the whole, you know, some of his events have been canceled due to lack of participation and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I know I said something nice to him publicly on his comment thread. Don't change what you're doing. Continue to do what you're doing because you're inspiring a lot of people, inspiring a lot of organizers to continue to keep on going. I know I did the hiatus and came back, and you know there was talk of him wanting to do the hiatus, but he's back, and you know it's the strength in numbers, and we're all doing it for one purpose. You know,
and Braden brought that up in our group chat. You know what I mean? Braden said, you know, the oversaturation of the community unfortunately has hurt certain nights of the week. You know what I mean? And it happens.
Yeah, and you know what, we all will rebound though because the sport continues to grow. As nauseating as that comment is, you know, you're constantly seeing new faces. And one thing I wanted to touch on a previous episode that I'll touch on right now real quick as we move into Tuesday night's recap of our collab with Naugatuck Doubles Championship. There's so many people that we don't see anymore that don't play that I know will be back on the boards eventually.
Absolutely.
But like I miss a lot of people. You know, the Dan Zeeler,
I just
Brad
messaged Josh
Zealers,
Smith.
the
Me
Ed
and Josh
Platt,
Smith were talking the other day.
Yeah,
Josh Smith
it's crazy that Fred's not bullshit. Yeah, he was. He was at Montana the other day, right across the street, right like 100 yards away. Because they got a whole where Montana Knights is at. They got like a whole complex there.
Oh yeah. That's right.
He came to show love, and then right before Fred started his he took off. He's like, "Nah, we're just killing time, and we're gonna go
was just coming over to say what's up."
Yeah, right there, bro. And it's
but even I know, like Frank, you know, I just texted Jay Snyder. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people that like I just miss around the cornhole boards, right?
I agree.
But think about it. The numbers aren't really that low. You know, they're kind of spread out evenly across the days. but there's so many new people who are playing cornhole, right? The Richie
Absolutely.
Ancampora, right? Like
Yep.
Richie's, he's
The
out here
Guzman
throwing.
brothers. Yep.
Yeah, like it's growing. So at the end of the day, where it gets kind of frustrating, where some of the numbers and some of the things, and we're gonna get back to it. You know what I'm saying? We're continuing to grow, and then when those people get back to being able to play, because like we said, life gets in the way sometimes, right? It took us a little while to kind of regroup and say, hey, let's get back on the schedule. Let's sit down at the table again, get this bag talk going. A lot to talk about. Some people have the things in their life that are happening as well, so they'll be back. I'm fully confident, and when that happens, thousands of players everywhere. Watch,
100%. 100%. The
Yeah,
player
it's
pool is
Will,
crazy.
keep doing what
stacked
you're doing.
in Connecticut.
Yeah,
Man.
I agree. It's crazy that you said that. So today I was having a little conversation with Darcy, and I was kind of telling her maybe like I was like, Darcy, I feel like all the hosts gotta kind of like create like a new situation for like as far as for like kids could play. Like you see how you did a regional today or open or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What was today? A regional, matter of fact, right?
Regional, yeah.
A
Yes.
regional,
Yes.
correct. It was a regional. So I said like maybe how you got a regional, and instead of you doing 5 sit goes, maybe you do 3 or 4 sit goes, but you do something just for kids, and you hit 100 parents up. Like I was like everybody in the Cornhole community. I was like me and Ricardo been kind of speaking about that. Everybody in the Cornhole community got kids.
But
3,
they run
2,
so like
once.
Wuhole in their regionals, they try to run a kids division, a singles division, a women's division, seniors division, all for singles. They try to do that, and I'm not sure how many times they've been able to fill a roster. You
Yeah, I
need
was about
6
to say that
teams
the
or 6
numbers
singles.
aren't there. Yeah.
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 Dude, great bees. It's a great idea. Listen, I'm
Yeah.
sitting here, with my kids today with the little mini boards that are
100%.
right behind me,
Yeah.
right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just want them to throw bags just to get used to it, because when they can
In
reach
the fridge.
the Caballero status, you know what I'm saying? The young kids, and they can reach the boards. Like,
Facts.
I want my kids to be able to play and
Right.
come, on a
Like
weekend,
for
and I
the
can watch them play.
For the Wounded Warrior, I'm playing co-ed with Avery. She's only 8.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll
Yeah.
bring her
Yeah.
out, Brody. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like, I don't know if you
The-
guys remember, me and Will try to do like a
The kids thing on
kids
Fridays.
situation going on, and we started off with 10 and it kind of dropped because it was summertime. But just the fact that those kids came, bro, like it could
Yes.
lead to something.
100%.
So the way I look at it,
100%.
if we could get kids coming in, like I was telling Darcy, that's new money, that's new energy, that's new bodies, and the sport keeps growing. These are kids.
Yeah.
Now we get them at 8, they're gonna play cornhole from 8 all the way to 48, 68.
Look at all the young kids that are like dominating the ACL. There was a point in time when their parents brought them to their first blind draw,
And that was
and
it.
now they're running the world. You know
Like
what
the
I'm saying?
Brian
Bills, like
Trader,
So-
the Braden Wilson, the
Correct. Yeah.
Alex
That's why I
Hayes.
like
Going
what
back to
Bill.
the
That's why I like
Alex
what
Hayes,
Bill
the
Senior
Ian
does.
Cribs.
Yep.
What's
Ian
that?
That's love.
Cripps.
He brings the youngers out. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Man. So yeah.
So moving forward, we got this past Tuesday night. It was a delayed collab championship. There's a lot of moving parts. It extended a little bit longer than we wanted to. The hype really wasn't there for it. But what ended up happening was a little recap. 203 Cornhole, yours truly, along with Big Smoke. We collabed with Ruben Jr. And my man Pap, and we did a collab, which was Switcholio session of 12 weeks.
Shit,
Every
fire.
other week, 203 hosted and Naugatuck hosted. The requirements to making the points or to making the championship events was you had to attend 7 events. So if your home court was Naugatuck or if your home court was 203, you had to play in minimum. You would normally play in all your home courts, but then you had to travel to the away place at least minimum one time, right? Your round robin points counted on top of bonus points for your tournament at the end of the night finish. And then the top 24, we actually, instead of doing just one event for championships, we've done 2 doubles and singles. So top 24 in those standings got partnered up. We did the doubles last week. By the time this comes out, the post will be up on 203. Going to do that tomorrow. But Coop and Bodette were partnered up.
Savage.
They were the odds-on favorites, and they did what was expected to
I
be
think they went
done.
undefeated, right?
100%. 100%.
They did.
They
They did. They had
work.
one close game, though. They had one close game that I wanted to point out, man. It was a 55-minute game.
Damn.
55-minute game.
That was John Davies, right? And
You're damn right it was. It was only 24 rounds, right?
yes.
I don't say only, right? 24 rounds is a long period of time. The average, just for, stat guys out there, the average game is only about 10 and a half rounds, right? Whether it's singles or doubles, it's only about 10 and a half rounds. 24 rounds, 55 minutes. Steve Lovejoy, the cat daddy himself, John Davies,
Yes.
bring Coop and Bodette to the brink. It went down to basically
Dude.
Steve Lovejoy could have put it on for a wash or go for an airmail for the win. But if he missed the airmail, he would have, he would have given it. Was 20-19 at that time.
That's crazy. He
so
went
put
for
it on for a wash, and then he went for it. John
went
Davies
for
was
it.
like, "Hey, you feel for it? Send it." And he just missed the airmail to win the game. Yeah, he sent it. He said, "You know what? We
he hit
brought
it
him
the
this
last
far."
frame. The frame before that,
Correct. Yes, he hit a
nailed
nasty
it.
airmail.
That lies in my heart. Like, you know what I
That
mean?
was
Like,
on live stream, right? That was
yes. It's on.
Excuse me.
It's
That was on a
BGB
BZB
TV. Yeah.
That
Get
game.
the
If you
fuck
got
outta here.
55
Yeah.
minutes, go watch that game.
Damn.
But moral of the story,
55 minutes. Holy
yeah,
shit.
Coop,
It was a
Bodette, they
great
took down.
battle. It was a great battle.
Yeah, they took down a $500 cash prize for themselves. Big Smoke and Jim Mernon, the slinger, coming in second.
A nice
And
run.
then Naugatuck Valley did have some representation with Johnny Fernandez teaming up with the Silent Assassin, Matty DeRose, taking third to
That was a
finish
good
off
run
the podium.
too. They also had a good
Yeah,
run.
without a doubt. So, and then that kind of went right into Wednesday, where there was a pretty big turnout of Cornhole by the Sound, right, BZ?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a battle. We had some great games over there as well. I forgot who took it down that night.
Rooster and
I think
Braden.
it might have been Rooster. Yeah,
Rooster
it was
and Braden.
Rooster. Rooster and Braden, bro. Yo, that night, not that I'm thinking about it, that night was a special night because Cornhole makes you step your game up. And let me tell you why. Braden was throwing PGLs. Smoke throwing PGLs with me. I was just me and Smoke. Tyler throwing PGLs with Josh Roberts. These guys don't throw
Why was
fastbacks.
it throwing? Was it the boards were just that
Listen,
slow?
I was gonna say that Braden messaged me. I want to say like around 6:30ish when they were setting up and everything was situated, and he was like, "Bro, I was throwing, and these boards are so tacky right now. Like the bags are like catching, and like you know how a bag
Rolling.
catches on steep, and they bunch up and roll over onto the seam." He was like, "Yo,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what to do." I said, "Well, it depends how the night goes. You know what I mean? Whoever you end up playing with, you adapt to that situation. But for now, turn your bag over to the fast side. Keep the same
Yeah.
bag, but work it out. You know what I mean? I look at it like this. I love sticky because I could throw low and hard. Most people, the lofters that loft their bag, that's their worst nightmare, a sticky board. You know what I mean? So obviously as the night went on, the round robin, so on and so forth, you get Josh Roberts and Tyler Lugo as a team. You get Braden and
Crazy.
Rooster. You get Power Shot and who was Power Shot's partner? Bulldogger, which is a great team. Then you had who was Bam Bam with? I forgot who Trev was with. I forgot. But then you had Sadie and Phil Lugo. It was there was just it was a stacked A bracket.
That's a murderer's row.
It really is, man.
Yo,
And then
bro,
you got
but y'all want to know?
And then the Silent Assassins, they're building a name for themselves. They've been playing cornhole for all of 15 minutes. The Guzman brothers, the Cartel kids.
Thank you, Papa.
These kids, listen, the Colombian connection.
Posse.
Yo, the Colombian connection. The Guzman brothers, man, came through and they performed, man. They performed at a very high level. They threw great bags. They shot their load in the losers bracket final, which was amazing. But I feel like as being a player myself,
we almost beat them, me and Smoke, man, too. Fuck.
And having big games, like beating Josh and Tyler, in my opinion, obviously we won it all, but like that's the championship. I won. Like, listen, okay,
I said it on the live feed.
I lose to these guys next, but I just beat 2 of the top 5 in the state of Connecticut.
Facts.
I don't care what happens next. I'll drive home happy. Give me a happy meal at McDonald's on the way home.
I'm
We're
like,
leaving
yo,
with money. We did something.
Was that championship game close? Was it like a good battle?
No. Rooster, they shot their load. They listen.
Well, see, I'm just thinking like if I beat Tyler and Josh, like I'm probably out here like loose. Now I'm like, you know what? I got nothing to lose, no nerves, no nothing. I'm probably coming out slinging the
Yeah.
bat.
I think they were out of
But-
gas. That game was pretty long.
They played
The
three. They
losers
played
bracket
three
final
straight
was
They had
games
pretty
to,
too.
they had to go through, and they had to go through the loser
They
bracket
played
too.
three
Yes,
So
straight games
yes.
too.
yeah, okay.
They actually played 4 games.
I want to say. I want to say it ended. I want to say it ended 7. They had 7 points, something like
Okay.
that.
But yo, that
I
night
got-
was funny because when Brady,
I
I'm
had all
sorry,
this
Pete.
stuff ready. Not to cut you off, busy, but I had all
Nah,
this
it's all
stuff
good,
ready
brother.
and prepared on my phone, so that while I'm on the
You should-
laptop,
You
but
and your
obviously
shit
I live on
Yeah.
an island. I'm
And the
floating.
We
fuckery
had technical
happened.
issues.
Yeah, I got technical issues, so now we're on the phone. So it is what
Yeah,
it is.
no
Tired,
doubt.
bro. Sorry, bro.
Nah,
I
you
had
good.
a Starbucks coffee this morning and I had half. I'm like, called my son and like, yo, bring me that coffee. I'm looking crazy on this back talk. I'm falling asleep. But listen, man, that night was funny. Not for negativity, just for shits and giggles and for fun, So Braden got like this little cloud that he always gets lucky with a great partner, right? Or some shit happened. He hits 3 airmail bags, wins. Braden's got bro, I tell him all the time, play the lotto, bro.
He's got a rabbit
Shit's
foot.
rigged,
Play-
bro.
Play the
Shit's
lotto,
rigged,
bro.
man.
So Braden got like this shit, but the shit is he's really just gets lucky, bro. And the shit is that when he gets the opportunity, he executes, right? He fucking hits airmails. He hit it at Battle Baggers, $900, like shit. Like he just got the luck of the Foley Clover. I think he's born on St. Patrick's Day, bro. Right?
He might be.
I think he
He
is,
might
bro. His
be.
birthday's coming up. So anyway, make a long story short, Braden's doing the brackets, and it's showing that it's gonna be him and Josh Roberts. So everybody's like, "Come on, blah blah blah." You already know, but they fucking with him. But they know in reality, it's just the way it panned out. It's your performance, where you at, the cutoff. There's no fuckery going on. The app does some weird shit on Cornhole, and it freezes. And then Braden calls Todd on Rooster, like, yo, Rooster, I don't know how, I need help. Like, so Rooster knows. He comes, fix some shit up, fixes up. He lands with Rooster, bro.
That looks a little weird.
That shit where everybody's like, come on. It lands with Rooster, but then some shit happened where Tyler's PPR went up. Because I guess the system made like a mistake. Some weird shit happened. Like, the Scoreholder app is a great app. It never really has issue. But sometimes it'll do some glitch shit. Bro, some shit happened with Tyler's PPR. He moved up. Braden moved down. He ended up with a Rooster.
Was Tyler the last game being played in the round robin?
It might have been. It might
I
have been.
think so. I think so.
Because if Tyler was
It
the
might have
last
registered
game,
late. Yeah.
and everybody could have probably been like looking at the standings, like thinking that was going to
Before
be
updated. See,
and then
Fred
it
knows. He's
updated,
a host. He knows all that. But the shit was just hilarious because you already know jokes on jokes. And what the
We start
fuck?
busting Braden's chops.
Braden's
Braden's
been
shooting lights out, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Braden's carrying Rooster, bro, with PGLs, shooting lights out, airmails, bullies, dry. I'm like, and Rooster just chilling. And I was like, this shit was crazy. To me, that was a great night because people that I've never seen throw fast bag were throwing super fast bag, and they were actually.
What week number was that? About halfway through
week
that
number
session
2.
now?
Yeah.
No. Is it 2 or 3?
It was only week 2?
Yeah, that's a new season. There's like week 3 max. I think this Wednesday is week 3.
Okay.
To be exact. Yep, absolutely.
So it's still early
it's a
too.
New season.
Well, cool. Yep. That was this past weekend recap of some good bags for sure.
But hold on. I can't. I'm a gear guy, and Freddie sporting that triple black.
Ooh, the murdered
black
out XL
Cornhole scenario. That's a beautiful trucker right there, kid.
I was finally able to get a hat that fits me, man. This head is large, and you know what? Bees has been busting my shit about, receding hairline, thinning hair. I was like, I gotta cover it, bro. This dude's been.
She never seems to amaze us with her swag.
Just cross over.
She got an eye for it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Cross over, bro. Cut it off.
It ain't even me. It ain't even me, bro. I'm gonna listen. You saw it before we started recording. Wifey popped her head, and I should have brought her over here so you could talk to her because she's the one. She's like, nah, I don't care if you got 2 hairs. She don't care if I look like Phil and Lil from the Rugrats, bro. I got 2 little hairs coming out my head. She's like, you ain't shaving nothing off. I'm like, all right.
Hey, that's it,
bro.
It is
what it is.
That's it.
It is what it is.
Listen,
happy wife, happy life, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Friday after the next, the 3rd film of the installations of the Friday series and the
Yeah.
landlord had the chick, she had the wild mustache, and he said, "You need to take care of that wolf pussy on your top lip." She said, "I know somebody who like it." That's all that matters.
That's all that matters,
I
man.
know somebody who like it.
Oh shit.
Too
Yo, I was
funny.
talking to Fred earlier, man. Real quick, I know I'm gonna change it real quick, but Ray Parquet is all over the place, all over the
Wild.
place, calling
Listen,
Yep.
me out,
don't
the
don't
direct
don't
messages.
listen. If you get caught at a red light and he's next to you, don't look at him. You gotta he got a tape measure talking about 27 feet. He's
That
ready
boy
to
is
stop
on
at the
it.
red light and set him
Yo,
up
he
at the
want to skip.
stoplight.
He want to skip the lunch line and everything. He's not even trying to play Fred.
Listen,
He's
you
trying
don't
to
even,
come after
you don't
me.
even want to listen. I called him out. He was like, "Oh, give me a couple weeks. I haven't thrown bags
It's
in
been
a
a
while."
month.
And you know what? I'm like, "All right, dude. Okay, you know
It's
what I'm
been a
saying? Like,
month.
I'll let you play a little bit." He came back out, played a couple of events, shot a little 5.5. You know what I'm saying? Doing what he does. And then he's sending Bees these messages with his Dominican
Barber.
barbers speaking Spanish and shit, like calling Bees out and shit. I'm like, dude, listen, let me beat the brakes off my boy Ray
Oh
real quick,
shit,
and then
Listen,
Bees could have him
what
left
was the
over if he
weather like
wants him.
today? I heard it was like 65 over there today.
bro.
Today would have been a great day,
Perfect
but
day for Fred and Ray.
unfortunately it was family day for me.
Absolutely. Sundays.
Yeah, couldn't do nothing
That's
today.
it.
But I was just telling Beezy, by the time this gets released,
Friday.
I'll already be hitting Ray up and Bees up too. But this coming Friday, weather's gonna be great.
Your boy
So
Ray hit Frankie Fallback up, and he's like, "Yo, I already spoke to Frankie Fallback.
he's trying to rent out his garage.
We could get it cracking on Monday. Meet me there at 7 a.m.
Yeah, but
what?
at the end of the day, though, Bees, you know what? If he really wanted this work,
He come see
Montana
you.
Nights is open every day.
Every
4
That's
p.m.
day.
what? 12
4
minutes
p.m.
away. 12 minutes
Yeah,
away.
come on now.
Yo,
Stop
Montana
playing.
about to put not Braden, Kyle on the payroll because Kyle is there. Young Smoke is there probably every day at the same time.
He should be. He
Yo,
should
that
be.
boy
Dude,
Smoke is
he's
on the
there.
group chat. Yo, going to Orange. Anybody want to come? Everybody's like, all right, who's
I'll be in
going?
Orange at 5 o'clock every day. I'm in Orange
Yep.
at 5. Listen, I just left
Huda
work. I'm
and
about to
Frank
go
like it
listen
over
to.
there too, though.
Yeah.
That shit is close to them, bro.
They live
You know
right
what
there
I'm
in
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
Stratford, so it's a quick
Yeah,
ride.
so they definitely gonna be in there.
Absolutely. Yo, there's been a lot of topics going on, like a lot of conversations on in the cornhole world, addicted to cornhole, Big Asp Cornhole podcast. Shout out to them. A lot of talk about controversial rules, right?
Oof, I love it.
Specific.
I love
One
it.
specific one.
Drop it.
And I know we're all going to have our own opinions of it, but I feel like, you know what, since the world's talking about it, I don't want to be redundant, but we all talk, like everybody's talking about it. Let's talk about it too, right? I feel like this is a good topic. So the controversial rule is actually the step over rule. Whether or not, how you step over, when you step over, what's right, what's wrong. There was an amendment of this rule before last year, up until last year, for all previous years, it
Then
was
they
just strictly
revised it.
yeah, before this year, it was just strictly throw your bag. As long as the bag is released out of your hand,
Yep.
you could then move across the line, right? They have now revised it to be you still have to release the bag before any part of your body goes
And your
over.
1 foot has to
But
be
your
planted.
your momentum can bring you forward over, but your plant foot has to remain
In the box.
still in the box, not moving. Well,
People's going
50%
over.
of the people, I'd say 50% of the people who step over, not 50% of the throwers in general, 50% of the throwers who step over are committing a foul every single time, right?
We've
So
all had
Bees,
to hit the hard push.
yeah. But Bees, what's your opinion on that rule? You like it? You don't like it?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been going over lately.
That's why I wanted to ask you first.
Yeah, I've been going over. Like Frank called me. Frank sent me a screenshot. Like, yo, Bees, your foot is over the line. I'm like,
Your
damn.
foot?
So lately,
Bees, I saw you today, Bees. You had 2 feet, 4 feet past the line.
You saw me?
Just
Yeah, I've been
chilling.
going over.
Chilling,
listen,
watching the bag.
Listen,
Yeah.
bro. I ain't got no hair on my tongue.
No, you good.
I
baby.
was going over, bro. Like I've been catching myself. Like I'm even catching myself. Like yo,
The
I've been
momentum,
going over.
the way you throw.
So usually
You're-
I had the
you're on your
butterfly
tippy
throw,
toes,
and just
yeah.
my leg, my back foot used to go up, but I always stood planted with that one leg because that's actually my logo my first logo, right?
Yeah.
Lately,
Yeah.
I just been going over, bro. I
No,
don't know, bro.
I've noticed you're going over when you're trying to make a push shot.
That's the only
You're trying to push
time.
it
But
back,
by my
and you're
regular
throwing it
shot, what
harder.
about with my air
Yeah,
modes?
no, you're good. You
No?
go back to any of
I
your
don't know. I
live
feel
feeds,
like
you're good.
I have to. I'm actually gonna go back. I felt like today I said it to myself. I said, "Damn, bro, I keep going over the line."
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, "I need a Red Bull," and I got a Red Bull.
But listen, I have got my opinion, and I'll tell my opinion at the end. But so again, you're saying to yourself that you find yourself going over. But like, what's your
Yeah.
opinion?
Well,
Whether you're
my
going over
opinion
or
on
not,
it,
like, what's your opinion
I
about the
feel
rule?
like it's a good rule, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it has to be enforced. That's it. If we're not gonna be enforced, let's not even talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
For
it.
me, it's a discretionary rule because if I'm playing Fred and Fred does it, and obviously Fred's not consistently doing it, but Fred does it on a hard push, or Fred does it on trying to bar soap me or something of that nature, and then returns to his box before I'm ready to release my next bag, then in my personal opinion, there's no issue. There's no issue at all because I didn't come there to hold the rule book up to Fred and his mechanics. I came there to play the game to the best of my ability. Now, you're also talking to somebody. I don't step over the line. I'm a placement shooter. I set my feet. I'm a rhythm player, but I don't even hold all my bags. I stack them up next to me, and I throw. Sometimes I step out of the box. I step backwards. I let my opponent throw. Then I'll step back in, and I'll grab my bag and I'll throw my next bag. However, I understand like most of the people being criticized for this rule are pros who are playing other pros who don't care. So in my personal opinion, I appreciate the fact that the ACL left it to the discretion of the opponent. Because the reality is, if it bothers some individuals to the point where it's disturbing their game, they can't focus. I can't focus anymore. I can't throw my bag properly anymore because you're doing this thing and I can't stop looking at it and it's bothering me. Then you make the call and you call the ref, you get the official to the boards, you go through the
So
proper channels to do. But the reality is, in doing so, you've
I have a
now
question,
you've taken yourself out of the game. So one
right?
second, BZ. And then so now you're doing this opposed to, like I said before in previous podcast, Matt Guy said, I come here and I like he doesn't even look when they're shooting half of the time because what they do doesn't matter. I'm here to put 4 bags in the hole. If your job is to come here and put 4 bags in the hole and you practice on putting 4 bags in the hole, whether it's your cut shot, your roll bag, or your air mail, you came there to do something. And if this guy's playing at 24 feet or 23 feet, which people say is an advantage and whatnot, that doesn't hold merit on you being prepared for what you came there to do. So I understand that the rule is in place, right? So I foundationally feel like if the ACL wants to enforce it, it should be enforced on the pro money level. So live feeds, of course, obviously ESPN, CBS Sports, whenever they're playing on the mainstream, there should always be an official because obviously more bodies mean more revenue.
Which they're doing. I've seen it on
That
the
was my
live
Exactly.
feed
next question.
recently.
Are they
They're
gonna have a
starting to
ref
bring
on
it.
every board?
Yes.
Well,
Not
not a
every
ref
board.
on. Yeah,
Important
not a ref on
games
every board.
with certain people
Yeah.
because they're not going to sit there and pay an official to be at a board at an intermediate game or
Well,
a
I don't.
competitive
Well, I
game.
want to talk about that too. I don't want to get too far away from this specific rule, but to answer your question, Bees, there was a live stream. I forget exactly what it was. It was not a live stream. It was a broadcast, a live broadcast. Could have been
Yep.
ESPN. Could have been CBS. Could have been something. Might have been the team situation.
No, I believe the championship game between Alex Rawls and Gavin Cano was the
No,
last
no. I'm
heated
talking. I'm talking. No,
conversation.
yeah. But I'm talking. I'm not
It's a
talking.
whole
I'm
other
talking about
situation.
having. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking about having an official. I saw it on a live where they actually had. It was either a red flag or something. There was an official at the live stream that when something happened, the official
outta here.
raised a red flag to the people who were there, and you noticed it was. I think Tony Smith got caught one time. They threw the red flag up when the timer
Get
went
outta
down,
here.
when his shot clock went down. So they're definitely doing it on the
That's
live
fire.
stream and all that kind of stuff. However, talking about the broadcast, I'll just touch on this before I get to my point, just to finish off the my opinion about it. They are the ACL just released something about officials. Like us three right here could go fill out a Google Sheets form real quick and try to apply to be
ref.
an actual official and get paid. Like they'll pay you. I think they mentioned it. I'm not making it up. It's public information. I think it's like $250 for an event that you can go and actually be an official. So whether it's one official per court or whether it's one official is going to have these 6 courts, that if somebody calls for an official, someone's there, right? So I don't know necessarily how it's going to work, but they're going in the right direction for it.
That's fire. So that kind of had me brainstorming. So the ACL is going to get officials. They're going to pay them. Is that going to affect us, our bottom line? Like, right?
The players' bottom line?
Yeah, like the players already feel like, let's keep it real, like the ACL is kind of robbing them. They're not paying out
Everything
enough.
that I've seen so far and heard about, I mean, obviously the goal isn't it. Cornhole in general is still a player funded. The majority of the percentage of the money that comes in is player funded, meaning they pay for the fees to come in.
So
sponsorship money is still, sponsorship money is getting there for the ACL.
Lower, you know what I'm saying?
To add on to what Bees said, that's a great point, Bees, because
right, I'm keeping it real. Because what about us?
Competitive and intermediate fund the ACL and everything above. It doesn't fund competitive and intermediate. You might win a competitive or intermediate event at an ACL event. They give you a high five and a sticker and send you on your way. You know what I mean?
Listen, that's a whole nother topic that we can talk about for days and for hours. But at the end of the day, Bees, to answer your question, everything that I've read, I don't represent the ACL on any facet. I used to be a local director. I am not anymore. I probably will be in the future just because, listen, that is the main league, right?
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I can't speak for them. I can't speak for that, but I am a nerd when it comes to the sport, and I follow everything. The talk about this was happening months ago with Trey Ryder. And what he was saying was they don't want it to affect the bottom line and affect the players. They want more sponsorship money to come in to be able to pay for this type of thing. Whether or not that money's coming in right now for them to move forward with this, I have no idea, but they're moving forward with it. So all talk out of the money situation aside, they're doing what's right, I think, in getting to that direction.
Payouts is going to be lower, bro.
No, but listen, my bottom line with the payouts, and like B said, just to close that off with, as a player, as somebody who wants to perform at the highest level, do not put yourself in a position where you're going somewhere and like your numbers scream mediocrity. Don't sit here and go somewhere and beat the baddest guy with 2 left feet and think you're entitled to something. You know what I mean? So I feel like craft your game, harness your skill set, practice daily, and when the time comes that you think you can monetize this game, jump straight into open, advanced, and pro leagues. Don't go into intermediate. Don't go into competitive and think.
Problem and the complaints with the payouts are not on any regional level, any local level. The complaints about the payouts are the open division, where everybody pays the same amount, and then it gets broken off into tiers, and 80% of the pay gets paid out into that tier 1. That's the complaint, because all of those lower level, you get into the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4s, after the round robin, they're the ones paying for all of that,
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, a whole different story. My opinion real quick about the rule. Here's my opinion.
What's up? Yeah.
I genuinely feel exactly what you guys feel. However, I'll finish it off with them changing the rule this year to state you can throw the bag as long as the bag is released before you move over the line, but your back foot has to remain. Why not either keep it what it was before, which is, hey, the bag is released before any body part moves over, and if that's the case, run down to the other end before your bag gets there, and I don't give a shit, right?
Yes.
However, or make it black and white where either the bag released before any body part goes over, or no body part can go over. Just keep it black and white.
So you're saying they're freestyling right now?
No, it's not that they're freestyling. Freddie's saying right now,
this and that, but whatever.
Freddie has a good bird's eye view of this situation because he's an organizer, and the reality is you can't please everybody. So you're going to upset one side of the fence if you go this way, and you're going to upset the other side if you go that way. So the bottom line is leave nothing to be misunderstood. This is what we're going to do, or we're not going to do this. But the
Correct,
reality
because
is,
as an
make a
organizer,
decision and stand on it. You know
well,
what I
because
mean?
as an organizer, you have to take emotion out of it, right? So somebody could come
Yes.
up to me and I could like that person and they're like, they want to feed me this information, or I just have not like that person or dislike, but like I have a better relationship with this person or a friendship, and they're like, hey, this is what it is. Can you do this or do that? And then this person over here, I might not have that relationship with, and you could kind of bend a rule however you want to as an organizer per se. But when facts are facts and things are black and white, it's simple. This is what it should be, right? And so
Yes.
that's why I think there's
No
just too much
second
gray
question.
area in the rule, and it's why we're talking about it right now, because there's
Exactly.
gray area, right?
The
It's either
sad part is there's not. Obviously, they did a poll and there's statistics on it, and the player pool, the pros voted
Yep.
the largest amount and whatnot. It's been on Facebook here and there, but for the most part, pros aren't calling this on pros. The people screaming and fussing about this are usually low-level players, and I don't want to shame them because at the end of the day, yes, there's rules and people should follow them and whatnot. But if you're going to a place to try to accomplish something, you're focusing more on things outside of you than the things that are inside of you. And I feel like that is the core of this game. This game is you versus you. Shout out to 203. You already know.
Yes, sir.
So, like,
So
you're lining up at 27 feet. Like, if you put 4 bags in a hole, it doesn't matter if this dude is walking all the way down and laying his bag in there. He can't beat your 12 if you throw in a 12.
Mm-hmm.
He can only wash it.
The problem's bigger than that, though. The problem
It
is
really
that these
is. It really
amateurs,
is.
it's these amateurs. I know you don't want to offend anybody, right, by saying lower level, but anybody who's not a pro, you mentioned it correctly. Pros are not complaining about it. So if you're an amateur, which is a lower level than a pro, don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about it. It is what it is.
We
yo,
don't care what
so
you did at Buffalo Wild Wings last Wednesday. We don't
Yeah,
care
yeah.
if you know what I mean. The guy is
Beezy.
going over the line.
I'm gonna
BZ,
ask.
go. What you got?
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask. Who you guys think is the biggest baby cry in cornhole, bro?
In our area, or like
Yeah.
crier in general?
Like in our area, there's always like, always complaining about something, man.
You gonna make me out people?
Oh,
I mean,
that's
it's
tough.
bag talk, my
Listen,
guy.
it is bag talk. Let
I don't
me
call it
try to be
crying. I wouldn't
political.
call it crying if it's legitimate. If it's illegitimate, then it's crime. But if it's a legitimate gripe, then I could
No, Fred
respect
was
that.
about to say something, man. Like you know what I mean?
I
Fred,
don't
you know
know
that
if
he
you're
got
gonna. I don't know if
something.
you're gonna get me to do
Give
it.
me 1 second.
You
I
know
gotta
that
let
he
the
got
dog
something.
out.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
Be
it's
right
all
back.
good. Yeah, I mean, because I just heard that, because it just came freestyling. I'm not fishing or nothing, because you guys are like, oh, it's usually the lords that's
There's
complaining and blasey blasey. So I just figure, fuck it, that sounds
there
like
is
a.
there is one person that jumps to my mind that I could have spit out within 13 milliseconds. I would have just said his name. It came right out. But I don't feel I wanna out anybody in particular for.
Nah, I respect it, bro.
At the end of the day, I will say this: it is a lower level player
Just complaining.
that complains. And if they put I'll say this: if they put the energy into actually trying to play better than complain about everything around them, they would be a better player. That's what I would
So
leave that
basically, it's
at,
them
right?
versus themselves.
Yeah. It's more like Pete was trying to say too. Like if you just focus on what you can control, that cliche saying, don't focus what's out of your control type of thing. Then I think you'd be better. But I'm the same way too. Like I'll always, you'll hear me say sometimes where it's hard to be competitive. I'm just a competitor anyway and a sore loser. But it's like, it's hard to be really competitive and play well when you're being pulled in different directions when you're running a league. And
Who's the biggest sore loser you played against that you be like, God damn, nigga, that you have even told them like you a sore loser?
That one's tough.
Damn, sounds like
That
there's a
I've played
couple.
against. No, listen, there's a bunch of us. I'm a sore loser too. You could ask for Mike Fino from last Tuesday.
What you
I was the
did?
biggest sore loser. Nah, it's just he was, Mike is the best, man. I love Fino
Fino's the best,
more than a
bro.
lot of people. And he's so positive and it's always this, always that. And he was busting me up and I was throwing like crap and he was trying to like cheer me along on the side and I literally
Yeah.
wasn't dapping him up on anything. I was moping around. The game was over. I ran down, dapped up little Ed, kept him moving. And then like 10 minutes later before I left, I went over to Mike, gave him a big hug. I was like, I love you, man. And
Yeah.
he's like, no, I get it. You were struggling mentally. And I'm like, I was struggling mentally, physically.
Nigga said, I'm just struggling.
I'm on a struggle bus, my man.
Yeah.
So,
but it goes to show you that, you got great sportsmanship. You just got a little bit of heat in the moment. You could have left it on some corny vibes, but you went back and you did the right thing.
Yeah, 100%.
And Mike is such a G that he
knew
knows
it.
and he understands and he knows your heart is not built like that, in the sense that you are a positive, straight, good
Listen,
guy.
at the end of the day, I don't even let my
space.
wife. I don't let my wife win Yahtzee. I don't let her win a
Nothing, bro.
Monopoly.
You like me. I'm the Monopoly king over here,
Yeah,
bro. I'm buying
chill.
everything up.
Yeah, like I'm not letting you. I'm gonna beat all my kids when they're growing up. Listen, I'm gonna
100%. Yo,
build
Fred,
character with them.
my score, I'm 102 over here. That's my winning record in Connect
Okay.
4. You heard?
Okay.
I'm killing
Okay.
shit over here.
Let's go.
So I hear you. When you said Uno, I get busy. Uno,
Yeah.
I'm shaky. Connect 4,
Yeah.
Monopoly, I'm the king. Nobody's winning.
Yeah.
Everybody.
No,
So I get it.
Yep.
Compete.
So at the end of the day, no, great questions, because you almost got me to slip up, but I would have felt really bad. I probably would have cut it and not even put it in the episode.
Listen,
to be honest with you.
that's the beauty of it. That you could be like, nah,
Yeah.
busy. That shit was too
I don't
deep.
want to
Let's
make
cut it
anybody
out.
feel badly.
Nah,
I don't want to make
100%.
anybody.
That's not the community's about. But
Yeah,
we gotta ask it. Moving forward, what we got next, Fred? I know Fred's a little. P's a little. I don't know what
He's doing
happened.
something over here. He's doing something.
That boy pulled the plug or something.
Now I got one more controversial topic that I just wanted to talk about. Because I just feel like sometimes, I don't know. I don't really know what I feel about it, but we definitely talked about it.
Yo,
we definitely chatted
real
it
quick.
up.
Yo, Fred, you look, pause. Big pause. You look way better what I had on, Fly.
Yo, chill.
For real. Like,
oh man,
that boy looking clean. He got the whole shebang going.
This is the same that it always is.
Yeah,
Look back,
but it looks like I'm looking at you right now. You should turn your face into a cartoon logo, bro. Boom.
Chill, bro.
Yeah,
chill,
bro.
Chill, homie.
Fred's like, come on,
anyway, back to business, because we got Pete back in the saddle. So Pete Bees was trying to get me to. He was trying to get me to snitch on like
jump out the window,
biggest
no
sore loser. You were about to leave. He wanted me to snitch on somebody.
Listen, leave my boy Paul Powers alone. That's all.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Yo, what's kind of?
I just say that's my boy.
What's kind of funny?
But Paul.
He's actually a whole different player now. Paul, D. Russ.
Yeah, D.
Russ. All those guys.
They're on our radar here real quick.
Fish. I love you, Fish, but man.
So let's bring up the topic. Let's bring up the topic for the listeners.
The ice. One of you guys.
At what point are you a sandbagger? I'm just gonna cut right to it. At what point are you sandbagging?
Okay,
at what point?
Now I need to take the wheel on this, because this is a very serious conversation in our group chat, and whole 9 yards, right? Because the reality is, right, we have been, me and my starting five, me, Bees, Julio, Edwin, and Frankie. And then Buck came, and he was in the beginning and he came again later. But in the beginning of us spreading what we love about this game, it was me, Bees, Frankie, Julio, and Edwin, right? The starting five. Foundationally, integrity. You're going to do the best you can with who you got, no matter what the situation. And we've had this conversation, whereas back when we started, Fred, there was no PPR. It was wins and losses. So you might have 3 wins and you're going to end up at the top, maybe in the top 5, but you're going to end up with a bad partner. Do you shank that last game of the round robin to try to put yourself in position to get? We used to, like, we don't play that game. We don't even think like that. So it's been a conversation in our group chat, because things have changed, obviously, and somebody can sandbag a game and lessen their PPR so that they can drop into a different position in the stats and get a partner. And I've told these guys 100%. Obviously, everybody notices my guys have H9Y on their tag for Scoreholio, and when they play and they travel, because I think you're a representation of what I want to personify as a group. We're ambassadors. We love the game. And then we have the H9Y Kill Crew, which is like a handful of us that want to just play at the highest level that we can perform at. So with that being said, I've had this conversation with my guys where if I hear about sandbagging, if I hear about you pulling some shenanigans to get a better partner or this, that, and the third, you lose your nine. You're like I don't want to be associated with that because at one time in my career, not even necessarily a career, but at one time in my inception of cornhole, I was the lesser player. So imagine you're playing with somebody who's shanking your game because he wants a better partner later, and you're sitting there giving it your all. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just like
What a
there's
prank.
like every time we line up, we're doing the best we can with what we got, no matter what the situation is.
Oh,
We've all had that terrible partner. We've all had that newbie, and at that moment, it's your job to make them feel comfortable, to get
I
the
want to make
best
a
out of them.
I want to
And
interrupt you and just make the point that I just had the same conversation this past Tuesday night, right? So this past Tuesday night, the way that we did this doubles championship is the way that the partners were set up was one, if you were number one ranked, which you were Coop, and you were partnered up with number two, number three with number four, number five with number six, so on and so
which
forth,
is
right?
awesome, which is awesome.
what a crank
There's a
start.
number of there was multiple throwers. I'm not mentioning their names. I promise you. Off record, I'll tell you and I'll text you who it was. But there was multiple people had come
Come
up
on,
or
drop
even
that
texted me
shit.
throughout the week that were like, man, I just wish we could skip right to doubles. I'm not looking forward to playing. I mean, I skip the singles. I don't want to play doubles. Like being real bummy about like not wanting to play. And you know what I said to them in person? I waited till Tuesday. Multiple people. I said, listen, and I was in private. I pulled them off to the side. I said, at the end of the day, you might not want to be here right now because it might not be the best partner in the world that you want to play with. What
Some
that
of these little
person
guys
that
might be
you
excited to play with you.
that person might have been so excited waking up on Tuesday morning knowing that they were playing with you, right? So like they all day long looked forward to playing with you. Don't give half a job, man. Don't put in half effort because you just don't think you're going to go deep with the person that you got partnered up with. Give 100% effort because you know what? They probably are so happy to have you as a partner and they're probably already nervous to have you as a partner.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? So, man up and for the integrity of the game, be that person that you used to look up to because you were there at one point
Yo, if
too.
you did that and you said
That's
that,
the cherry on
salute
top,
and
Fred. The
kudos
cherry
to
on
you.
top is
Promise you I did.
we
Salute.
were that guy before. I tell this to people all the time, oh, I got so and so, and I as soon as I hear it,
Mm-hmm.
I say that's all right. It's your opportunity to be a good player. You have to be a good coach. Some
Yep.
people have tremendous mechanics but don't have the IQ. So
Yep.
you have to be the
Yeah.
one to encourage them or coach them and give them the spot on the board or make them feel comfortable in their game and
Mm-hmm.
loosen up. Don't worry about it. No pressure. You bring the best out of this individual. But the
Yeah.
reality is, conversation full circle. One time or another, you were that guy somebody didn't want to play with.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Fry,
so
real
How
quick,
so
quick
I
could
we
we
know, I
kind of
know,
forget?
we
You know what I
I
mean?
know that Fres, we talking about, because I feel like we're talking about two different things real quick.
we
Sandbagging
are
to get a
we
better
are
partner,
we got
and
to
then
get
we was
back to
talking
it. Yeah.
about who should be competing in what, competitive,
Yeah, this all
advanced,
started off.
et cetera. That's where we at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's not
I feel like it ties in together
a little
because
bit of
the
both,
reality is
but
a
the
lot
first
of
question first.
people that sandbag have lost their way. In my personal opinion, you've lost your way on this journey to be great at this game because if you don't think integrity is foundationally a part of being great at this game, then you've already lost. You're not going to be great at anything. The reality is because what it comes down to is giving something your whole heart. Anything you're passionate about, whether it's cornhole, real estate, cars, whatever it is that you want to pour
Right.
your blood, sweat, and tears into, if you're not wholeheartedly, foundationally committed with your integrity, your character, everything involved, and how you're going to do this, you're not going to excel. You're going
No,
to plateau at some
absolutely.
point. You know what I mean?
But getting away from the biblical sense of it though, right? Like without going into like the mental frame of that, like I totally respect it and understand it. At the end of the day, there's players that are playing in divisions, like especially in these regionals,
Where
that
they
shouldn't be
don't
playing.
belong.
Correct. Now I'm going to play devil's advocate here because I was the first one to text you guys, or I mean, maybe I wasn't the first one. Maybe Pete threw it in there, in our group chat just with us three, where we were like, "Damn, you see these numbers? Like these numbers are wild right now. You guys see this?" And we were all saying the same exact thing, which was, "Why are these players are shooting 9.5 PPR, 10 PPR in games in a competitive division. So before I get into how I don't like the fact that they were playing in that division, I do have to say all of the players that we saw doing that, I do know play in open all the time. Paul Powers, always playing in open.
Not only that, I feel like it's tough because of where we're from. And I say that to say this. It's tough because of where we're from, because as we noticed today, I checked all the numbers before the regional even started, and a lot of the numbers were low. And you know what? We pulled together as a community. And I've busted chops about people being in the wrong divisions and whatnot. But however, I'm now coming to the realization that they're not going in there for a money grab. They're not going in there to strut stats.
Correct.
But
100%.
the reality is we support Darcy. And when you support Darcy, Darcy can't fill everything up. And if she doesn't fill anything up to the degree that it needs to be filled, she has to cancel. So a lot of these people are like, wherever you want me, I'll go. You know
but
what
I could also
So
speak to the fact of like the Paul Powers, right? And I'm just bringing up his name because I love him so much. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah,
You know,
he's
he was
awesome
one of the
guy.
ones, he was shooting over nines, and I'm thinking to myself, like, Paul shouldn't be playing in the competitive division. But then I just took myself back and I go, you know what? Paul has always played in open and always put in the time to play against better people, right? So it could just be like he's always played in competitive, and now he's got the opportunity.
And not only is he going to play in competitive, he's still going to play in open.
Correct, 100%. However, devil's advocate here. He's always he's always played in. He's always played in
open.
He's always played in competitive. He's always played in open, right?
Yep.
But he's now gotten to the point where he's good enough.
He's nice.
He shouldn't be playing in competitive. That's just what I want to say.
And what
That's a
about the other
respect thing
guys?
to Paul.
Same applies
You know,
for all of them too.
So
Fish,
I'll say names too. I got no shame. D. Russ was playing in that same tournament, shooting lights
Fish.
out. And my man Fish, they all were shooting over nines. Over nines,
even,
9.5.
And even the power couple, you know, I love them to death. The Cake Lady and Mean Mike Janka. They're both solid. Like, I don't care what anybody says. They're seasoned vets in the state of Connecticut. They've been around a long time. They're CCC veterans. And I've seen Heidi beat the best of them. And I've seen Mike, when he shows up, he shows up. You know what I mean? And but I also feel like, that's why I said we're playing devil's advocate here. I also understand that without them doing that for Darcy, the competitive division almost doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, whereas you have intermediate, because a lot of people that are supposed to be in competitive are down in intermediate, and then a lot of the people that belong in open and advanced are helping fill spots in a competitive. You know what I mean? And let's be realistic. We know what a regional is, and we know what the regionals look like. They're not exactly dishing out big bucks. It's not happening. You know what I mean? So the reality is, it's for the love of the game and to support Darcy. Darcy is the queen of the state in terms of organization. She's the CCC. You know, she's Matt Marin's sister. You know, she's an awesome person all the way around. And if you call on your people to help you because numbers aren't proper or numbers aren't going the way they're going to help. You know what I mean? They're going to support you because at the end of the day, they want you to be successful. And we all love cornhole. So more cornhole to us is going to be something. But you're absolutely right in terms of the people that you mentioned, the people that we all mentioned. Yes, they're playing in competitive and they kind of don't belong there. But I feel like it's more of if you want me to do it, I'll do it. Because if they did it and didn't play in open, then I'd have a problem with it. But they're
So you
always
guys
playing in
think
open
that's what
regardless.
it was?
You know what I mean, Fred?
Or you guys think, I don't
Well,
know,
we have
man.
to draw the line somewhere because there's people that belong in competitive that are in competitive.
No,
that
I
are
hear
getting
you. What I'm
railroaded
thinking is
by
for
these
that particular
individuals.
situation, you guys or you, Pete, think that they play competitive because numbers are low and they was doing
No.
Darcy a favor?
No, I
Or
don't. I
they
don't.
wanted to fill in?
Maybe
You,
some
Fred?
of them. I think they all played in competitive because they wanted to play cornhole, and they had the availability to play cornhole Saturday and Sunday because I think they all played in open the following day. My
Yes.
only problem with it is when you get like, listen, I think very highly of
The
Mike
players that
Jenka.
belong there.
You think
Yeah, like,
Darcy
I
has to
think-
be the one to
I
draw
think-
the line
but
and be
listen to
like,
me.
no,
But
you
listen to
guys
me.
gotta
At the end of the
buck
day,
up.
I love like Mike Jenka, right? Mike Jenka's a friend of mine. I consider him a friend. I think he's a very, very, very good cornhole player,
Yeah,
right?
he is.
He's
And
a
when
beast, yeah.
he's on, right? But he's just like me, where we are our own worst enemies mentally, right? So, at the end of the day, if you look at his statistical numbers, he can play in competitive and win, and he can go up and play in open as well, right? But when you get to throwing numbers into the nines consistently, when you have an entire run like D Russ and Fish and Paul Powers did, that they never threw a game under a 9. It was 9s plus and 10s. At what point are you also hurting the event, right? I get what you're saying, where you're going to help out Darcy, you're going to help out,
You're 100%. You're 100%.
you're going to help out Darcy, and you're going to make sure that event continues. But at what point are you also hurting that event because nobody else who belongs in competitive are going to play in competitive because there's an open people playing in there? So you're hurting it in the future because people aren't going to want to play in competitive division.
And the people that do belong there that did register for there are like, I'm being railroaded right now because I'm where I belong. I'm throwing the numbers that are required here. And here I am in a dogfight with somebody that's been playing 3-4 years longer than I am.
Rolling.
It's a double-edged sword.
Air mailing.
It's a double-edged sword, but at the end of the day, someone like I'll say it again, a Paul Powers, I totally respect.
Hell yeah!
Because he took his lumps. He took his lumps playing with that open division. When he probably knew he was going in and he was going to lose, but he was like, I need to get better. I want to get better, and he did it.
Listen,
and guess
he's
what?
a dog.
Guess what?
Paul Powers
He's
is a
gotten
dog,
better.
man.
He's gotten
He
better.
is.
Paul Powers out here shooting lights out, and he
He's gotten
deserves
way
all
better.
of the
From the
credentials
first
for
time
like.
I met Paul, man, he's always been the guy that runs towards the fire.
Yeah,
He's
100%.
he
Love it.
like Rooster, Todd, you name it, Josh Roberts. He wants to play them, and he said
Yeah.
it. He used to tell me all the time. He's like, Pete,
Mhm.
when back in the CCC, the Ranch Day and stuff like that, I used to just them Finkel. He just want McLovin. He wants to play the who's who of the what's what, because I don't care how many times I lose, I'm
It's a
getting
rarity nowadays.
better. It really is, though. It really
Mhm.
is, and that's one thing I love about Paul. You know what I mean? So he's always been the one that he'll take his licks to get better if that's the way he has to go. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And it shows because he's definitely risen through the ranks. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
I love him and Bulldogger as a team, man. As a double team, him and Bulldogger is a great
Yeah, it's fun,
team.
man.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fun. But cool. No, I'm glad we touched on those subjects, though, because I know some people might be a little, maybe upset with us that we were calling them out. But, at the end of the day, it's all for the love. It's all factual information, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, in the end, Darcy is the director,
Mhm.
and she has to listen to the people. Because, yes, she has to fill slots, but at the same time, she has to hear her constituents, because the reality is the people that are in her intermediate and perhaps belong there, she has to keep track of these stats and these numbers to know you don't belong there. And maybe it's her responsibility to call these people out. You know what I mean? To say, listen, I can't have you down here. It's not fair to the people that belong down here.
But the insider information that I have, being an ACL, well, at once being a local director, the ACL actually forces with their bag tracker, they kind of take it out of the regional director like Darcy's hands, which is great because it doesn't put the pressure on her. If she doesn't, let's just say she doesn't want to make a move, the ACL themselves will automatically move a player up and down depending on like their most recent.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So someone like a Paul who did shoot that well, if he did it again and did it like, I don't know the criteria of it, but there were spreadsheets that used to go out in the organizers in the director group on Facebook. They would send out a spreadsheet. You'd be able to see the Excel format, and it'll say like all these players. I never knew any of them across the country, but these players went from competitive to advanced. Like their profile was automatically updated based upon their stats.
Funny story, true story, Beezy. Yo, me and Frankie, right? Obviously, we were the dominant force in the beginning of the club and whatever. I taught Frankie, I taught these guys how to play. We got into it. We got into a rhythm.
You ain't teach us how
Frankie
to
was my
play. Get
guy.
out of here, bro.
Yo, Bees, first of all, I
Bees,
can't hear you.
Bees,
Come closer.
You ain't teach us
Bees,
how
I
to
didn't,
play, P. Stop it, bro. Why you want that tag? You bring us to made us a team, and yeah, but you ain't teach us how to play, P. Stop it. And boot that and Bugs words.
Bees. I don't even know what to do
What?
right now because you was balling up the bag
All
and
right, but
and
you
throwing
ain't
it like a
teach us how to
horseshoe.
play. You bring us together. You say, I got
Bees.
a dream.
Tell me,
Martin Luther King, I got a dream. And bloody, bloody, bloody. And we came together, but we all
I,
just
I,
started practicing and practicing and playing. You ain't teach us how to play.
I'm heartbroken right now. But listen, um, I'm gonna move on since Bees is shooting a different episode right now.
We gotta
Um,
get, we need,
listen. So
hold on,
me and
we
Frankie,
gotta get Ed and Julio and all these guys
me
on this shit.
me and Frankie were playing and Bees and Edwin were like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna go to a regional and we're gonna do our first regional. But outside that regional, they had played maybe a tournament or two. They used to play blind droughts, but we used to play in the yard.
In
And
the
they
yard, yeah.
went and they didn't realize what they were doing and how they were doing it at the level that they were doing it. They went
We
to
won
and they
that
were like, you
shit
know what?
too.
We're gonna go intermediate. They went under intermediate, undefeated, all the way to the chip and cleaned the chip out quick. And they were like, oh shit, like
we stepped it up immediately to advance. We skipped
You,
one thing.
they skipped
yeah,
competitive.
you had
But
Afro at that point.
Yeah.
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No belly.
Yep.
And from that moment forward, they officially just stood in advance. They never
Yeah.
went back down. You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy. Now, you know what's crazy? That I was thinking about that shit this morning as I drive, and I'm like, yo, bro, I only played intermediate and I went straight to advanced. Like I didn't really go through the process. I
Hmm.
probably would have cleaned up more intermediate, more, and then got to the advanced, and then probably put in some work. But I went straight, like you said, just exactly how you hit it on the head, just like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, they
It's a
jumped
way to
straight
do
up
it, though.
there.
Pete not going to sleep tonight. He gonna text me like, yo, Bees, you ain't shit. How you gonna say that shit up back to that I ain't bring you to the table, bada
Listen,
bing,
you said
bada
what you
boo.
said, but I got the other four that wear that
We
same
gotta bring him
jersey that
on.
know the truth.
We gotta
They all
bring
know
him
the
on.
truth.
Freddie, we gotta get him on.
Nah, so you know what though? I respect Bees though, because Bees guy, he's just got that what am I looking for? Like the pride. Bees got
Yeah,
that
yeah.
pride. He's like, I don't want nobody told me this. I did this myself.
Nah, so to be keep it 100, because this is all the time. Pete
Yeah.
he wants the credit for it. I'm only gonna give him 5%. So recently, basically, I never forget it. One of my guys, there's a French bulldog breeder like myself, the OG, that's actually taught me everything that I know. My boy Ty Zika, shout out. My boy Ty, he's over there in Sandy Hook. Moved, used to live in Bridgeport. The way we met was crazy. So he moved to Sandy Hook. He bought like a little some shit. You know what I'm saying? Something big. And he's like, yo, I'm having a big ass party. Come through. We get there. Big ass party. Cornhole boards are set up. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? Motherfuckers is throwing some shit in the
Oh, so
hole,
he
bro.
introduced you to the
He
game.
introduced me to the game. He
Okay, I
introduced me
still
to the game.
taught you though. Don't
So
disrespect
I
Papi,
already
okay? Don't dis-
listen. I already seen that one coming. I don't even
Yo
know why I
soy
agree
tu
with you.
papá. Yo soy tu
Listen,
papá.
listen. So keep it 100, real shit. So we play with him over there. The shit was wild fun. I'm like, damn, this game is fire. Little Chinese and Cambodian. He's Cambodian, half Chinese. And I even asked him like, "Yo, bro, now that I know people, I'm like, yo, you know Pong and all those guys, are they your uncles?" Because I asked him and he's like, "Nah, show him pictures." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't know none of those guys." I'm like, "Nah, I'm sorry, but I thought these guys were related to you. They
See right
nasty."
there? That's how much racism you just sprinkled in the podcast.
yo, he
Nah,
That's
definitely
fucked
showed a
up.
little
That's
bit.
fucked up. That's fucked up. But y'all know, man, bees don't even, you know
no,
what I
no,
mean?
no, 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 no. I
But
just fucking with you. I just
so
fucking with you,
yeah, they
guys.
introduced me to the game. But yeah, I will give Pete his flowers. He organized it. He put the battery on our back,
And
and
he showed you how to throw a bag,
he
tried to show
hasn't
you a
shown
little
me how to
bit
throw a
better.
bag because I'm fucking can't get a flat bag. So what did he show me? He showed me
Is
nothing.
it's better than a balled up,
100%.
you know
But
what I
Yeah, but
listen,
mean?
when
man, a lot of people.
listen, I keep it a buck though. Bees, when he first started, he was balling them up, right? Like this. And he was
Hmm.
still beating motherfuckers, man.
Money, still money, bro. And I was a
Yeah,
game
he was
So
changer
throwing all
ahead.
ear mails. He used to throw all ear mails.
so you
That's
know
crazy.
who did that too?
Who?
Tom Bodette.
That's crazy, bro. And look
Tom
at him
Bodette
now.
used to throw buckets, balling it up, and just tossing, just tossing.
That's why he's nice with that airmail
Do you want to know who taught him how to play cornhole? Like, not play cornhole, but same conversation with you guys. Like, he knew how to play cornhole. He knew the rules. He's played it before. You know
you
who
said it once.
revolutionized Tom Bodette to make him throw a flatter bag and all that kind of stuff? Matty
Didn't you tell me
DeRose.
Oh, Matt DeRose. Okay. That's
So
crazy.
it was COVID. Long story short,
Come on, let's
it was
hear it.
COVID. We were all playing in the ice box in Hamden.
Ice
right?
box? What do you mean? It's cold in there?
Dude, it was brick city. There was no heat in it. At the what's that arena in Hamden?
What's that shit that was upstairs and downstairs?
Correct. CFC. Yeah, so
okay, I've seen it.
Me and Frank they don't have any heat or air conditioning.
Bro. So natural.
Yeah. Icebox. Well, Tom Bodette, I've known him my entire life. We used to work together back when we were teenagers and stuff. So him and my boy Johnny, who they're really, really close, and Johnny works for me now. You guys have met him, Johnny Marenko. And Pete might have met him once or twice, but I know Bees just did. He was up at Naugatuck and stuff. They're really, really close, but Johnny came down and brought Tom Bodette to a switch that we were playing at in Hamden. And of course, Tom Bodette got scraped up real quick because he's only balling up these bags. And Matty DeRose was in the king seat, right? So Johnny was making a run in like the B bracket or something like that. And Tom Bodette ended up going up top of the top level with DeRose while DeRose is just throwing just to stay warm because he's in the king seat. And he went up there and Matt DeRose taught Bodette how to throw bags. And now Bodette is out here playing 9 days a week.
Dropping buckets.
Everywhere.
9 days a week.
He's a bad man.
Yeah, man, he's come crazy. But
crazy.
Talking about teaching people, man, and I don't care who says it. Listen, I taught Big Smoke how to play cornhole from the inception. How to hold a bag, how to throw.
How to roll and everything you told me, right?
Yeah, you didn't believe me that I taught him how to roll because I can't roll consistently. I could do it, even Bees. We were playing in that game and I hit a roll on you. Like, I could do it, but, like, not consistently. Big Smoke has taken what I've shown him and just totally blown. He's doing so good.
I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy because I've been playing a long time with Fred. I've told Bees and the guys in our group chat how good you were when I started, Fred. And I said Fred lost his step when he started backloading. When Fred started chasing the roll bag, he lost his step. Because
why you lying, P? You used to say Fred is garbage. Stop it.
Listen. With the second you started backloading that bag, it was different because you had a natural butterfly grip. Your bag squeezer like I am. You squeeze tight and you throw. But the second you started backloading, chasing the roll bag, you changed your entire mechanics.
And but I think he's backloading now and it's working.
No, but he fixed it because he started doing the step. You started stepping again.
Okay.
I took that away and now I'm not doing it again. And
yes,
you're still trying to find
back, Fred.
I don't know, Fry. Fred's been shooting way better because his bag is coming in like on his angle and then it's like curves in.
I've always had a natural tilt to it.
So I don't know.
But then I started with the backloading thing. Then I started stepping. Then I took it away. I'm bipolar when it comes to it.
My personal opinion,
at least you stepping with one foot. I'm stepping with 2 feet.
2 feet in the hop.
Yeah. And a leg kick.
Nah, but 100%, Fred. When you keep your follow through and you step, you're as good as anybody in the room.
Nah, Fred's been shooting good.
And why I do that, why I keep like reverting back and forth, it's an inner battle that I have with myself. Is I used to be a bowler, right?
Yes.
So I was a really good bowler, and when you step, you kind of follow through, and that's how I got into playing cornhole. But I felt like I would play really well stepping for a while, and then like almost like the bottom would fall out, and it was like, well, I'm stepping. There's a lot of movement, a lot of variables that can mess up. How do I minimize them? So I'm gonna stop stepping and just stand still and throw. And then like I'd be like, okay, well, I got this for a little bit, and I would do good for like a week or two, and then I would fall off, and I'm like, I gotta go back to stepping because I was better there. And now it's just like every 3 weeks I fucking change it.
Fred coming with a new shot every Monday.
Conversation full circle plus the ACL conversation. Shout out to my boy Johnny Watt. I was watching him on the live feed for Coastal and Turf Wars, and Johnny Watt eliminated his step over.
Did he?
He completely throws from behind the line, reaches the bag, doesn't have a follow through anymore. He's working it out, but he definitely played well. But he didn't play to what his usual was. But I can see that he's foundationally resetting his mechanics.
He's working.
I think that's awesome. You know what I mean?
That is awesome. Yeah, you damn
He
right.
was under a lot of
The
scrutiny
evolution
for a
of it.
while, and I've caught him in slow mo, and he lets the bag go before he goes over and whatnot. It's been,
Yo.
obviously criticized and scrutinized in many different venues, but he had a nice major run within like the year before last, 2 years ago.
Oh, he
Johnny
was
Watt was
hot,
one of
bro.
he was the hottest. He was one of the
He got
hottest
up
hands in the
over
state.
an 80 SPR and everything. He was, yeah.
Yes, he was on
Yep.
fire. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he was
100%.
constantly criticized because
Yeah,
of the
that was
following.
flaming. They used to flame Johnny. I
Yeah,
used to see it on the
yeah,
comments on his on
and
the
it's
lives and
tough because
shit.
he wears like a 6.5. He's got like
He's
he's got like
shopping
a
in the
baby
kids
foot.
section, in the
Yeah,
junior, in the
yeah.
youth.
His Air Maxes don't come with air bubbles.
He
You know
got
what
all
I'm
the
Oh,
saying?
flavors.
man.
He got all the flavors.
He
Oh,
Soft
he
bottoms.
man.
he can't get a gummy sole
Oh,
Timberland. His Timberland don't come in gummy
oh
soles.
man.
he
They
got
got just
he got the soft bottoms.
that's my brother. I love Johnny to death, yeah. I love Johnny to
Oh
death,
man, the
yeah.
Johnny.
disrespect. The
Yeah, man, I love
disrespect
Johnny.
is
I fuck with
real.
Johnny, man. A1 in my
But
books.
anyway, before we finish it up, man, we definitely have to do like we always do, and mention out a couple of different events that are coming up in the future. Less than 7 days away by the time you guys are listening to this and watching this podcast, it'll be probably within 4 days away. This coming Saturday, March 9th. It's been rescheduled once before. Numbers are looking decent, but we want them to look extraordinary. We got myself, Freddie Howard, 203 Cornhole hosting an event alongside equally with BZBs and Ricardo Antunes with Cornhole
Support
by the
our
Sound.
vets, man. Support our military, man. Support
Absolutely. Wounded
all
Warriors.
branches, man. Yes, 100%.
Yep. So in Hamden, we've got multiple events, 4 events to be
A lot of
specific.
events. Yep.
2 events each are going to be run at the same time. In the morning time, we have co-ed, BYOP, and we have, what else do we have? Intermediate?
We got co-ed in the
Yep.
morning. Bring your
Yep.
own partners, and then we have the lower bracket, the competitive, right? If I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. And then we have and then in the afternoon we got advanced
And competitive.
and competitive, correct.
Yeah,
So
so we
yeah,
have
so in the
intermediate.
morning, I'm sorry, we got co-ed
Yep.
in the morning at 11, and we got social bring your own partners at 11.
Perfect.
And then at 4 p.m. we have advanced and competitive bring your own partner.
Perfect.
So
So we've got
that's what
4
it is.
events.
Yep.
4 events. We got the 3 levels. There's 3 skill levels. We've got the social, the competitive, and the advanced. And we also threw in that co-ed in the morning. So bring your wifey out, bring your friend out, bring your sister, your mother. Doesn't matter. Bring them out for the morning time, and then stick around later on for the competitive BYOP or the
Yep.
advanced
It's
BYOP.
a semi-food bar. There's gonna be drinks there.
Absolutely.
Couple snacks. A lot of shit. There's a
Yep.
VIP in the top. There's
Yep.
a
It's a
couple
great
lounges
venue.
on the side. Like it's all scattered out.
Sounds like a
Everybody's
good
not on
time.
top of each other.
Without a
Ceilings is
doubt.
about 20 feet high.
More than that,
And
yeah.
then, and
Right.
then
Unlimited ceiling.
obviously you have the league on Monday nights. You have the 203 Tuesday nights at Montana Axe. Show
Yeah, yeah.
out, show love. You have
Yep.
Wednesday nights at the Sound, and then you have the Thursday singles. Like I understand what Freddie's trying to do here. He's giving people a lane, but like there's not enough singles in the state of Connecticut. Too many people
Mm-hmm.
run home and say I won, but they had a partner. So you only did
Yeah.
50% of the job. Even if you did great, you still had a partner on the other end. Singles
Right.
is the game that separates the men's from the boys. You
Right.
got to get
And we
in there and you got to walk. You got to walk
facts.
down and back. You got to do your best you can. Defend your strong side. Perform on your weak side. Whatever it is, eliminate the variables in your game. And singles is the way to
Facts.
do it. Thursday nights, Montana Axe.
Yes, sir.
Facts. And to finish the month off, we might have, it might be the biggest turnout of the year. We got 70 teams signed up for the Cat
In
Bash.
Connecticut.
In
In
Connecticut.
Connecticut,
Bash.
70 teams within
We
24
closing that
hours are
March
signed up.
strong. Like I think it might be the biggest tournament. I mean, we still got 2 rows coming up, but we always get a good turnout there. But
100%.
so far right now, the numbers is out the
And
door.
not to take
Shout
anything
out to
away
Big
from
Trav.
2
Big
roads.
Trav was telling me that the other day. He hit me up because I talk to Big Travis all the time. He's one of my sports gurus. You could ask Big Trav about any sports team,
He's
baseball,
locked in.
basketball, football. He's got all the stats. He's my guy when it comes to the stats. And
We
he
got
was telling me that the cat bash is
70
stacked, and I
teams.
would love to have made that, but instead, unfortunately, I'm going to be a penthouse on the other side of the island overlooking the ocean. But
There you go.
that's a cross that I have to bear.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? But I will be
Yeah,
there the
and not to
following week.
take your following week, yeah.
Following weekend, I will be at showing up. Look forward to a Sneaky Pete's call out. It's coming soon. I'm working on it because I'm going to touch
I'm gonna
down in
fuck you up because I
CT,
got a feeling you're gonna call me out.
and
I'm gonna
and
fuck
I'm
you
leaving
up.
lumps. You know what I mean? I'm
Excuse
leaving lumps everywhere I go. It don't matter who it is.
Me and people
And I
told you
can't
man
wait to be
shit to
there.
each other.
I'm gonna be there from Thursday to Sunday. Thursday I will be at Montana Nights with Fred. He's helping me out do some things for the family. Friday night we will be at the clubhouse. Pay attention to your DMs. Pay attention to your messenger. You might get an invite to a secret establishment to have a great time at the H9Y Clubhouse, celebrating my boy Beezy turning 25. You know what I mean? This
25
is what
plus 15, 25
this,
plus 20.
I
What you
take it, I
doing, bro?
take it, I
this
take
is
it, man. Anything in the
this is
30s,
what we
man.
do, man. It's a family affair, man. We love good. If you're hanging out with the right Latinos, man, it's gonna be nothing but good booze, good music, good food, and bags flying.
And
It's
listen, a
what
lot
we
of
do.
people don't know, man. If you come to my birthday event, your boy Bees is cooking himself. And if you never tasted my cooking, that's gonna
What?
be the day. That's gonna be the
And
day you're gonna show you Bees gets busy in the kitchen.
Bzz, bzz.
yes, sir.
On
Are we
that
missing
note,
anything? I feel like we missing something. Anybody,
no, I
anything,
mean, you
any
know what?
other
I'll
events?
just finish it off with
God,
nothing
Fry.
nothing set in stone right now, though. But them boys over at Cornhole by the Sound and Scott Brewer and James Alexander at the Battle Baggers, they got something brewing up. No pun intended. So keep an eye out for your social media links. But I think sometime in April there's going to be a pretty good event happening. So
Absolutely. And when we have
details
the
to
Right.
follow.
specifics, we will bridge the gap. We will bring one of them on. We will chop it up
Facts.
because we love to support everything CT because that is what we
Right.
do. But with that being said, outside of CT, shout out to Frank Verona. I saw him at the regional today. Shout out to Colin Hodette. I saw him on the live feed today. Shout out to Tornado. Shout out to all the guys that always come out to show Darcy love. All the pros in our area, tri-state area. We love it.
Fact. And I don't want to breeze by since you guys mentioned Scott and Battle Baggers got one of the biggest pots in cornhole right now, selling out every
Yes.
week, week 8, week
Yes, that
9,
airmail is
and
tremendous.
10. Shout out to Braden, got his number pool, hit one bag for $910. But that pot is growing and it's getting bigger and bigger, man. So if you guys looking for a big airmail pot to take down,
Yeah,
Battle Baggers got it right now at the moment. So go show them guys some
100%.
love. Word,
Absolutely.
man.
On that note,
What's up, my guys? We
catch you
dead.
guys on the flip side. See you.
Always a good time, fellas. Bag talk. We out.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
man. All right, folks.